Welcome to our last sessions for today. This is a VMware room. Next presenter is Sergiy, and I'm going to try to pronounce you Lunyakin, right?
Lunyakin.
Lunyakin. Okay. Hopefully that helps that I speak your language as well. The session is Agile Data Preparation with ADF. ADF is Azure Data Factory Wrangling Data Flow.
Okay. Thank you. So,
Sergiy Lunyakin, thank you for joining CSR in Los Angeles Virtual 2020.
Thank you so much, Steve. Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today for this online conference. I'm really missed offline version of SQL Saturday. All this networking and meet old friends, new friends. I hope you enjoyed all sessions for today. I've seen a lot of interesting topics. Hope you're interested in some data. I will talk about Azure Data Factory and how to use data running flow in Azure Data Factory for data exploration and preparation. A bit about myself. I'm a big data architect at software company. I'm based in Seattle. Like my main technology stack is Microsoft. That's why I'm mostly talking about Microsoft technologies and Microsoft Data Platform MVP since 2016. But as an architect, other cloud providers and technologies as well to provide our customers more benefits and choose the best architecture for solving their problems and challenges. I have certifications in Microsoft, Google Cloud, and AWS. And I think this is my contacts. If you have questions after my session, please don't hesitate to ask me. And I will continue with agenda. This is a beginning level presentation. So I'm not going to deep dive to Azure Data Factory or other functions or possibilities of Data Factory. My goal today is show you what data running is and how we can leverage the possibility to extend our analytics possibility for our analysts and data scientists or data engineers. I have been working with data wrangling, not Microsoft-based data wrangling tool extensively, but so Azure Data Factory introduced this wrangling data flow possibilities last year, I guess, but it's still in preview. It has many, I would say, drawbacks comparing to competitors, but at least we have it embedded in Azure Data Factory, and if we already use Data Factory for data movement and data transformations using Databricks, it's good that we can use without buying some third-party products. So today I'll talk about what is data wrangling, just to show the concept, why we should care about this one, what is a place in data wrangling in architecture, and we will look to Azure Data Factory wrangling data flow possibilities, what is a target person for this functionality and use cases, and I will show a demo as well. You can ask answer during my talk. What is data wrangling? This is better because data wrangling is just a brand name, yeah, the same as big data, right? But we should understand what behind this name. And usually we have like questions that we would like to ask to our data. Yeah, business has questions that we need to analyze and get some insights from this data. But usually we get a question and start analyzing some data to get answers. We have something between that we need to do. Yeah, it's discover right data to answer those questions. Refine data, we need to clean. Usually we have raw data, especially if it's not in like data warehouse where we have everything cleaned and prepared for data analysis, but we have many data sources that we would like to involve into data analysis, and those data sources are not clean. We need to play with this data. Yeah, we need to understand better how data distributed, what kind of data types we have, how we can connect data with each other. We have to clean this data, change data types, transform, and after that, when we prepare this data set, we can start data analysis, to have better insights, some get quality from this data with set of transformations. And actually this is part of calling data wrangling. Yeah, and we use it. It's nothing new. We use this approach in our ETL processes. We use different languages to do this data wrangling, like Python, SQL, some object-oriented programming languages, yeah, Spark. But the idea is the same. Yeah, we just transform this data. After that, we analyze it. And usually we spend about 80% time, like data analyst or data engineer spends 80% time to prepare this data, and just 20% of time analyze it. And the idea of data wrangling is simplify this 80%. Yeah, speed up the data preparation. And for this, they use in data wrangling tools, we see many functionalities that allows us to apply transformation without writing any code. Yeah, it's codeless writing, just clicking some transformation buttons. So compile step-by-step transformation to script, and after that, this script could be executed by backend system. This is what data wrangling. Or where we should use, where is the right place for data wrangling in our architecture? Usually we use it in on top of data lake, because data lake is like big storage with many different data sets, and we have some data catalog on top of it to work with this data. Yeah, get, join this data, transform this data, and move from one zone to another. Yeah, where we have landing zone, our raw data, then we refine this data. We have production zone, we have many other zones in our data lake. And when we move data from one area to another, and data wrangling is the right tool to do this. I mean, I apply different transformations during the data movement. And the good attributes or criteria for data wrangling is integration with other layers, like data ingestion layer, security, like access and monitoring. And what I can say, like the Azure Data Factory already have all those parts, and data wrangling is the just module that allows us apply transformation without so the question that I usually have about data wrangling is how about ETL, because many things like transformations and data preparation we have in our ETL process as well, and it's sometimes it's not easy to make decision, do we need really data wrangling, or we can just use our existing ETL processes. Some criteria that we should consider when we look to ETL and data wrangling, when we compare those approaches, is ETL usually managed by IT or like data engineering department. It's controlled, central control on all ETL processes. Business or data analyst doesn't have access to this area. And ETL makes sense for stable enterprise reporting system when we have to prepare a set of data every day for our corporate reporting, to show some numbers. ETL is for long-term projects because when we implement some enterprise reporting, we have some plan, some project, how to implement all stages from data ingestion, transformation, and storage and visualization. Usually ETL has some standards that we should follow to add new sources or transformations. And we have on top of it some metadata and governance. So it's more controllable than data wrangling. Data wrangling is more service approach to prepare data. It exposes it to data analysts and data scientists. Some power users can play with this tool as well. It's more about exploratory projects, data discovery, and prototyping. When then business users can play with data and get some insights without involving IT department. It can speed up our projects, find out more insights, because end user, they know better what they're looking for in this data and what kind of insights they need to extract from this. Quick wins, they can play with data and get quick wins without long-term projects, without conducting a long project. Get some budget, weight this budget, resources, etc. They can play with data using data wrangling and find insights, some evidence they can use to start long-term projects. Data wrangling projects have less documentation or some governance because it's like self-service. But the results of data wrangling, it could be some detailed precursor to ETL. Because we already know what kind of transformation we need to apply. We just need to translate it to our ETL layer. In ETL process as well. Go to Azure Data Factory. So what Azure Data Factory Wrangling data flow is, how it looks like. It based it on Power Query Online. If you already know Power Query from Excel or Power BI, for you it would be not problem to start using this tool. Because under hood, it still uses Power Query engine. Engine, IAM language. If you're familiar with this language, again, it's benefit to start using this tool. And it's code-free. The same way as Excel or Power BI, you can just click and combine all steps for making your transformation, you can use the same experience here. And underneath, this engine translates AMP-generated code into Spark code. So underneath it, extract some Spark job and compute, like calculate all transformations and store data to. That's why it would be easy to translate it, like transfer all your like data wrangling experience and results to more scalable data processing. Yeah, because underneath it's using Spark that's pretty scalable, yeah, and allows you to process big amount of data. Who is the target person? Yeah, because like when we look to data wrangling, we should know who is the right person for this tool. Engineer and data integrator role. So the person who can play usually day-to-day job to play with data and prepare it. But I can say you can expose this tool as well to data scientists and power users. So more experienced power users, for them, it's not a problem, especially if they already know Excel and Power Query in Excel or Power BI. For them, it will be easy to start using it. Use cases is data exploration or data preparation. Free, you just select required transformation from the available list of functions, and data validation. Yeah, before we start doing some analysis, it's a good way to do some data validation and cleansing. This tool, like data wrangling class tool, usually using for this as well. And a better way to understand how it looks like the demo. In my demo, I'm going one is a transactions file with a from sales system, another one customers, and the third one zip codes. At the end of this data preparation, I would like to have aggregation. I would like to see my sales and my number of products, how many products I sold in a specific state, and how much money it costs, and the minimum price. For each state. We will do this set of transformations. So I have separate file for each year, and I would need to combine them to one data set. After that, clean this data because it has some gaps. I need to enrich my data with reference data sets, customer zip codes, replace missing data, filters, and aggregation. Yeah, some basic transformations that we use in any data preparation, and we will look how it looks. And any questions before I start demo? Okay.
No questions so far.
Let's go to that. Okay, thank you. So Data Factory, yeah, in Azure Data Factory, if you already use it for something, you're familiar with author and monitoring tool. Yeah, when you open it, you see author area, monitor, and manage. And in your authoring, you have a plan that set data flows. And in data flow, so when you start just using it, first of all, you have to add your data sets. Yeah, it's your sources and destination. Yeah, my source is a transactions file. So I can show you that I have my transactions contain So I have several files for each year, one for each year. But I want to combine all of them before I like data source will do it for me automatically. I just specify like folder. Yeah, if I just read this data, it will automatically combine all my files. This is example. I have just link key for customers, transaction date, price, discount, and product category. I have customers and I have zip codes. And I need to create my result dataset because it's my destination where I put all my result of my transformations. So after that, I can create my data flows. And if you create data flow, you will see two types of data flow. Yeah, we have mapping data flow that is based on Databricks. Yeah, and it's like code-free data transformation that will use Databricks cluster underneath for your data processing. It's more like, again, our ETL. And we have random data flow, yeah, and still in preview. Even you like can't use it in your production system, but it's a possibility you can like expose to your data scientist or power users. I will create this one, and first of all, I'm adding my transformations, my data sets. Yeah, it's transaction, customers, and my zip codes. And I need to add my destination. Yeah, so all these three data sets, when I create my flow, I can see all of them as a source. I will collapse this panel. Okay, so as you can see, it's really the same UI, the same experience as you have in Excel or Power BI. Yeah, because it's still in preview, and I guess it's not possible to implement, like convert all Power Query language functionality. Some transformations and functionality is not available. Yeah, and if you use some function that works in Excel or Power BI, you can see here some notifications that this functionality is not supported. If you would like to see all supported transformations, there is this link, documentation, where you can find what kind of transformation, column level, filters. As you can see, it's just few of them comparing to the whole power of M language. But something that you can start doing, some common transformation are available. Okay, so from left side, you can see my resources, this is my data sources, and my result dataset. Result dataset, like in Power Query, we can have many of them, and in Power BI, but in running data flow, we can have only one. Again, it's because underneath we use Spark and everything processed like in data frames, as we have only one output data frame. Name, yeah, okay, name should be the same like this. User query, you can change name. It's also restriction so far. The one interesting and useful functionality for data wrangling is some algorithm underneath that can analyze your data, some distributions, data types, and show you some suggestions or information that you can use, like this one. Yeah, I have empty records. I can see that how many empty records I have. I can identify like a problem with my data quality. here. Yeah, I can see some data distribution. To extend this functionality, I have to go global options, and by default this is disabled, but you can enable this and enable all types of suggestion, like analysis. By default it will scan first 1000 rows to identify data distribution or how many unique values, some statistics information about data. Okay, while it's preparing, like in more in third-party tools, what additional functionality on top of it, it uses machine learning algorithm to scan data and propose you how you can clean this data. Yeah, so in Azure Data Factory, we don't have this functionality, but just to know that other tools can propose this possibility. Yeah, you can see that, okay, we see here it's most of data is a date type, but some of the string. Let's use this transformation to convert it, fix this issue. But in Azure Data Factory, you just can see a basic information. Yeah, it's pretty slow sometimes. Yeah, you can see it allows us to see some data distribution. Yeah, how many unique values, distinct values. Do we have some error, like different data types in one column? We have empty records. I can see like most of records in this column are empty. So but I need discount, so I need to figure out how to fix this one. These statistics are useful to start understanding our data, discovery data. So because I would like to aggregate my data by product category, I have my product categories here, but I can see that I have different names like basic, deluxe, and platinum. Yeah, category was changed but not for all products, and I need to change basic to silver and deluxe to gold. Like have silver, gold, and platinum. That's why first of all I use replace value function to do this. Because it may be too slow, I won't be able to show you all possibilities. That's why I will switch to my existing set of transformations. I'll go to step by step to show you how it works. So I need to change my basic to silver. Then I need to again replace field, the same field column, but replace deluxe with gold. I think we will spend many time if we will wait all transformations. I just switch to my flows that already done, and we will just go step by step. Sometimes because we don't have functionality to replace many of them, like if I need to replace several values in the same column, I will have like 3-4 steps here. That's not really convenient, but we can change it using condition column. So for example, I replace it here, my silver and gold. So now I have gold, silver, platinum. Another issue that I would like to solve is empty values in my discount, but I have this another issue here as well. My final idea is multiply discount by price to get final price. But in my discount, I have string value like 5% or 10%. I can't multiply like this one. And I need to fix my blank value as well. That's why I'm just adding conditional column from here, conditional column that I can replace several values depending what value. And I replace my 5% with 0.95 value. So if I multiply, I will get final price minus 5%, 10%, 20%, and everything else like empty values, I just replace 100 full price. And after that, I can see I have my calculated like conditional columns with correct values now. Now I can just remove value. Now I need to have my customer information. Yeah, I need to know what state was where my customer lived. But for this, I need to join with my customer dataset. I'm doing join. I left auto join with customer dataset by customer ID. And it's pretty slow. I don't know, is it my internet or Power Query Online agent? It's really slow. Sorry about it. What I need from my customer dataset, I have 4 columns. I have state, I have zip code, and I have start and date. Yeah, so active customer or not active. I need to, first of all, identify active customers and filter out non-active. And after that, I need to correct my state, get state value. It's crazy. Maybe any questions? Yes, this one. So I have now my state about where my customer live, zip code, start and end date of activity. For end date, I can see the empty values. Yeah.
Sergey?
Yeah. Any question?
Yes. So this is perhaps my first time seeing ADF, but I've seen Power BI and it looks like the Power BI interface.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Let's say it is Power BI, Power Query. Yeah. Let's say Power Query interface from Power BI or Excel.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So why would you then use ADF for data wrangling as opposed to Power BI for data wrangling?
Because it's a data lake, my Azure Data Lake for blob storage. It's more convenient to analyze this data or interact this data with something that, again, cloud-based as well. Yeah.
So you're saying if it's stored already inside Azure Blob, then ADF?
Yeah.
You don't need to move it.
Right. Yeah. You just analyze data where it lives. Yeah. Without moving. Again, because usually data wrangling installed on top, it allows you to investigate or discover the whole data set of data available in data lake instead of just subset data that you can import to Power BI or Excel. Yeah. So you can see now I have all fields required. Here I can see gaps in my end date. It means I can't identify, create some logic to check is it active or non-active, but I can treat this one, just replace it with some future date like 2015. Again, use condition logic and compare my transaction date, is it between start date and end date, and set some flag like 1. So 1 means my customer is active, this is active sale, I can use it in my analysis. Now I have this flag, I can filter it. And after that, I need to price more than dollar. And it's important to have some valuable sales, and then I can calculate my adjustment price. This is my final price when ticket price multiplied by my discount. As you can see, if you already have experience Power Query, like we have all the steps the same, they apply one by one, and it generates M code. So if you have more advanced experience with query, you can use advanced editor, just extend some logic. For example, in my first example, when I need to replace 2 values, I use 2 steps, but how I can make it more efficient without 2 steps, I can just replace it with the same logic as a conditional column use. Like each, if, else, if, else, if. And I can just copy this piece of code here, and using just one, I will replace many values. But again, it's more advanced. It's more advanced if you're familiar with M language. So now I have my final price. I can know, but my issue now. So I would like to aggregate by state. And this is my state, but I see that 5% of data is empty, so I can't use this value. But I have all values from my zip code, so I can join my data set with zip value for state. That's why I'm joining again with my zip codes and expand it to get state column. Yeah, so now I can see that I have correct column for my state. I have all values, non-empty, 100%. So I can use now this column to aggregate. I just need to rename it to state. And after that, I just use group by to create my aggregation. I use group by state, by product, and I calculate number of products, total for my sales, and minimum price for this specific product type. And I have my results. Now I can analyze, compare gold or platinum, and how many products, how many customers bought this level of products. Or I can use this one as a starting point for my report. So obviously I need to, for example, I decided to build some report on top of it. I have to build my ETL from the scratch again, I can just publish this one. It will be processed and store it to my, and I can, after that I can use my Power BI to visualize it, this data, but it will be already cleaned and prepared for this. You can see using data wrangling, like if we use mapping data flow, yeah, we should already know what kind of transformation we would like to put all blocks in my ETL flow. But if I don't know exactly what kind of transformations I need, I just would like to look to my data, issues with data quality, and try different types of transformations to come up with some parallel data, some data set. Data wrangling allows to do it without any coding. I just click my functionality. I can add additional columns if I need, some calculations, replace data types, change data types, apply some transformations, text, group by, pivot, and pivot. Any other transformations that usually do write in Python code or SQL, but here without any coding. And if you already have Power Query experience, minimize time to start with this tool. We had this, previously it was Machine Learning Studio, I guess. It had similar functionality, but then Microsoft deprecated this tool. I guess they come up to integrate the same functionality to Data Factory, because Data Factory is a central solution to deal with your data in data lake and processes data. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any robust roadmap for this product, for this service. It's in preview pretty long time, and I don't really know how it will go. But at least you can, for some POCs, even your data scientists or analysts, they can use it because this is not production. You can just play with data. It's just one useful tool they can use if they need to process big amount of data without extracting it from data lake to local storage or Power BI. I guess this is all what I would like to show you today. If you have questions, I'll be happy to answer.
I'm going to try to unmute all again. Folks, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions.
Oh,
okay,
hi,
go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi. I have a question. So the whole idea of data wrangling is just to do kind of lightweight data profiling. It doesn't replace the whole Azure Data Factory pipelines. Yeah. It's just to get the idea and just land the data somewhere so somebody can look at it. Is it correct?
Yeah.
That's understanding. All right.
Yes, it's correct. Yeah, it's not replace something. As I said, like, yeah, you have Data Factory where you build your ETL process, but before you should have some requirements how to process this data. So data wrangling is just prerequisite, yeah, when business user can play with data and come up to IT guys with suggestion what kind of transformation they need in ETL process. Yeah, and do data profiling just to understand what kind of data we have and how we can use it in our analysis.
All right.
Yeah.
As a follow-up question, I mean, wouldn't it be still kind of in the let's say as a tool built for data engineer? I mean, I can hardly believe the business user can. I mean, it's not that complicated again to use the interface for Power Query, but still a lot of, I'd say, business users get lost into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it depends on like company. Yeah, in some companies, power users, they pretty experience it in not only UI basic tools, but in some Python coding, and they would like to play with data like this one. Yeah, but it's obviously
Okay. After you arrived
most
at the
of
final, sorry. After you arrived at the final result, do you usually land this data profiling into the separate staging area or some kind of semi-presentation area, or it's pretty much just only for your eyes only when you just kind of precursor of building the actual, ETL pipeline?
Two types of projects. Yeah, for one project, people just store it somewhere in personal folders for themselves, just to present top manager some quick win results. But it's data wrangling is a part of infrastructure, self-service infrastructure. They allows business analysts, let's say, store final result as a part of data lake refined zone or production.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
It's more about how processes for self-server processes were created in this company. Yeah, how it's mature for a specific company. Yeah. In some companies, if you start using this tool and expose it to business users, you will have chaos. Everyone start building something. You will have many copies of the same data, and nobody will know how to trust this data. That's why on top of it, it should be some processes, and control.
I see. Yeah, thank you for your point. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. And obviously, like I haven't seen any separate role in Azure Data Factory that allows to say like this group of people with this role can have access only to data wrangling and play with data. So can't give access to data wrangling, but people will not see all pipelines for data transformation. So it obviously should be controlled on top of it.
All right. I hope I didn't miss the point. So data wrangling area itself, it's completely kind of separate area in the Azure Data Factory. It's not like in the same pipeline.
Yeah, it's the same at here. If you, the same area. Okay, if you create a mapping data flow, it will be here as well. Everyone will see it. And all data sets that you use for you will see it here as well. Should be some like more restrictions, who can see what data sets, what flows, etc.
I think decision again to make it available for business analysts is pretty much in the same realm. I mean, I don't know if you ever use master data services. It's comparatively high bar and for business analysts to enter this area. You need to be half ETL engineer, half, I'd say, master data management guy, understanding what exactly you want. So, I mean, yeah, there is a tool, but there is a kind of high bar entry point again to understand again how you can connect all data points. I'd say that maybe falls in the similar, I don't know, criteria or understanding, but I get it. Okay. All right. Thank you.
As a extension, because this tool is not mature for like exposing to business users or less technical person. Trifacta, let's say Trifacta has much more possibilities to expose it to business users without like the bar much lower, like entry point, and it has more possibilities, like more codeless functionality. That's why I had experience where like data of Trifacta as a product, it was exposed to business users and they were happy to use it.
I see.
I think like two products like a leader in this area is Trifacta and Paxata.
No, one good advantage if you go to a tabular, building tabular model again for analysis services, that's the same import pretty much wizard. I mean, the imported kind of M language, I'd say, get data, the whole interface in multiple products, which is great actually. I mean, similar experience, and you can find it in many places, so it's kind of familiar. I mean, just maybe different connectors and different tool set, but at the end, kind of similar skill set.
Yeah. But I think, and nobody use this Power Query functionality in tabular model because for complex transformation, it's pretty heavy.
No, you can still benefit. I mean, I can argue you can still benefit. For example, if your tabular model is based on the comparatively complex star schema, and you only need to fetch part of the data with light modifications, it's still a great tool. So
yeah.
Sorry for hijacking the conversation. Maybe somebody else wants to ask the question. I mean, I have more, but that's all right. Thank you so much for answering it.
Yeah, thank you for questions. Okay, somebody else.
Maybe you can go to the last slide that shows your contact info.
Actually, I think have it's my first slide.
You're showing right now a slide that's saying demo. Oh, perfect. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, this one.
Yep.
This is my contact information again. If you have questions about this functionality or just experience with other data wrangling tools, like Trifacta, I can answer your questions as well. There is one open source as well, Kylo. It's some sort like it requires more technical background to work with Kylo, but at least it's open source that you can use it as well in your projects. It's more data engineer oriented. Okay, I guess I hope it was useful for audience to know about this tool. I apologize for performance. I'm really don't know. So I had bad performance for this functionality in Data Factory without presenting. I mean, even on my local machine, maybe when I work over internet, it reduces internet speed and affects performance as well. Okay, that's it. Thank you, guys. I think now everyone will go to raffle time.
Well, the thing is with raffle time is I can show the raffle slides one more time, but the raffle is actually going to happen after the event. Plus, we'll actually, because we had some problems with raffle, people not being able to access, or it was asking for a code, they didn't know what the code is. So we will send that raffle link again through an email. This way, whoever had a problem, they can subscribe to raffle and participate in prizes. Sergey, thanks a lot. Yeah. That was quite a big presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Sergiy, for your host, and thank you for this virtual event.
This is there are 4 more people. I'm just hosting one room.
Yeah. No, I mean it's a very interesting session actually. I mean I'm hopeful again next time maybe more people will participate. But yeah, it actually brings a lot of great points again how you can handle your project in the very beginning.
Yeah. Thank
you.
Wait
a second. There is a question. Wait a second. Not a question, but a thank you.
Thank you.
So it's a statement.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay,
Thanks for all that,
everyone.
Andy.
Have a good rest of weekend.
I'm going to go to